Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for standing by for the third quarter 2022 earnings conference call for XPeng Inc. At this time, all participants are in listen-only mode. After the management's remarks, there will be a question and answer session. Today's conference call is being recorded. I will now turn the call over to your host, Mr. Alex Xia, Head of Investor Relations of the company. Please go ahead, Alex.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to XPeng's third quarter 2022 earnings conference call. Our financial and operating results were issued by our newswire services earlier today and available online. You can also view the earnings press release by visiting the IR section of our website at ir.xiaopeng.com. Participants on today's call from our management will include Co-founder, Chairman, and CEO, Mr. He Xiaopeng, Vice Chairman and President, Dr. Brian Gu, Vice President of Finance, Mr. Dennis Lu, Vice President of Corporate Finance and Investments, Mr. Charles Zhang, and myself. Management will begin with prepared remarks, and the call will conclude with a Q&A session. A webcast replay of this conference call will be available on the IR section of our website. Before we continue, please note that today's discussion will contain forward-looking statements made under the Safe Harbor provisions of the U.S. Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. Forward-looking statements involve inherent risks and uncertainties. As such, the company's results may be materially different from the views expressed today. Further information regarding these and other risks and uncertainties is included in the relevant public filings of the company as filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The company does not assume any obligation to update any forward-looking statements except as required under the applicable law. Please also note that XPeng's earnings press release and this conference call, including the disclosure of the unaudited GAAP financial measures, as well as unaudited non-GAAP financial measures. XPeng's earnings press release contains a reconciliation of the unaudited non-GAAP financial measures to the unaudited GAAP measures. I will now turn the call over to our Co-founder, Chairman, and CEO, Mr. He Xiaopeng. Please go ahead.
大家好，我是何小鹏。在2022年第三季度，小鹏汽车的交付量达到了29,570台，同比增长是15%。在今年前3个季度，我们累计的交付量是98,553台，同比增长75%。坦诚地说，在实现长期战略的目标的道路上，小鹏正在经历一段充满挑战的时期。为此，我们最近做了深入的战略复盘跟做架构的调整。智能电动汽车的竞争，我们相信将是一场马拉松的竞赛。只有掌握核心技术，并且在综合能力优秀，最终实现在硬件跟软件都能取得大规模收入的强者，我们认为才会最终在长跑中胜出。
Hi everyone, I'm He Xiaopeng. In the third quarter of 2022, XPeng delivered 29,570 electric vehicles, a year-over-year increase of 15%. Cumulative deliveries in the first 3 quarters of 2022 totaled 98,553 electric vehicles, representing a growth of 75% year-over-year. Frankly, we're going through a very challenging period in pursuing our long-term goals. In response, we recently conducted an in-depth strategic review and implemented organizational restructure. The competition for smart EVs is similar to a marathon. I believe that only strong players with core technologies, well-rounded capabilities, and the ability to monetize from both hardware and software will eventually win in the long run.
为了加强我们产品的竞争力，并且提升销量，我们将会更有效地倾听用户的需求，简化下一步产品配置的选择，提升产品的软件和硬件的吸引力。我们相信，随着市场竞争的增强，小鹏会增强在产品营销上的能力跟手段，让客户更充分地感知到我们在行业领先的智能化跟电动化的技术所产生的巨大价值，并进一步提升我们的品牌销售跟服务能力。在此，我也想特别感谢在最近 各位朋友以及股东在这一方面给我们提出了宝贵的建议。
To enhance our product competitiveness and boost sales, we'll simplify configurations while improving our hardware and software products' attractiveness to incorporate customers' voices and needs. As market competition intensifies, we'll sharpen our marketing to highlight the great value in our industry-leading smart and electrification technologies and further enhance our branding, sales, and service capabilities. I would also like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank our customers and shareholders for their valuable suggestions regarding these areas for improvement.
在最近调整的新的组织架构中，我将会聚焦于小鹏汽车的战略、产品规划跟研发，并推动组织的变革跟升级，让客户价值驱动我们的整个的产品定义、研发、销售服务的全流程，使公司整体更加聚焦和更加高效。通过最近的战略梳理，我更加坚信地看到，智能汽车时代将会从2023年下半年开始，并且逐步的深入和扩大。小鹏将坚定不移地投入在自动驾驶和智能座舱的研发，在智能化路线上取得极佳的成本控制能力，并保证我们的研发是以客户需求为导向的。在这个时候，我们再来提升整个智能化产品的客户满意度、竞争力和盈利能力。同时，我们也将充分利用当前已经在研的跨车型的整车跟三电的平台化，来提高研发的效率，并通过技术持续性降本，降低整体的研发费用跟报名成本。此外，我们的生态企业小鹏汇天跟小鹏的鹏行已经完成了独立融资，并且具备了独立运营的能力，因此我个人在生态企业的参与度在之后会大幅度降低。同时，我们的联合创始人夏恒将辞去董事会的执行董事职务，将所有的精力聚焦在产品上面。
Within the new organizational structure, I will focus on XPeng's strategy, product planning, and R&D. My goal will be to drive organizational change and upgrades, ensure customer values is reflected in our entire product development process, including design, R&D, sales, and service, holistically making our business operation more concentrated and efficient. In a recent strategic review, I'm more convinced that the adoption of smart EVs will accelerate in the second half of 2023. We'll unwaveringly invest in the R&D of autonomous driving and smart cockpit technologies to strive to reduce the cost of these technologies to our customers, while ensuring that customers' needs and preferences are at the center of our innovation to enhance our smart products' competitiveness and profitability, as well as our customer satisfaction. At the same time, the platform-based approach for our vehicles and powertrain will improve the efficiency of our research and development and will help consistently reduce our R&D expenses and BOM costs through technologies. Besides, our ecosystem affiliates, XPeng Aero HT and XPeng Robotics, have both raised funds recently and are now well equipped to operate independently. As a result, I will be spending much less of my time on our ecosystem affiliates operations. Our co-founder, Mr. Heng Xia, will resign as an executive director of the board of directors to focus more on products.
我们正在重组品牌和营销团队。我相信，随着重组的深入，我们的品牌跟营销将通过更强有力的团队和客户感知更强内容，以抓住消费者群体最关心的渠道和购车决策的要素，并持续的提升小鹏的品牌影响力和口碑的影响力。
In addition, we are restructuring our brand and marketing team. Through a strengthened team and more targeted content, I believe we will succeed in addressing the key factors that affect consumers' purchase decisions in the most sought-after channels and across a broad range of customer demographics, paving the way for more powerful brand awareness of XPeng and our products.
我们将通过车型的平台化跟模块化继续深入，不光是在整车平台，还包括动力和智能平台，以实现在产品研发的效率、提高成本的控制和供应链管理上的提升。基于在过去我们几年的投入， 小鹏已经布局了3个强大的车型平台，包括已经完成的 E 平台和计划在明年完成的第3代的 F 平台和 H 平台。我相信这为我们将来产品的升级迭代奠定了坚实的技术基础。这些平台的车型将会非常大比例的共用动力、智能、底盘、电气架构以及对应的供应链和生产制造能力等。因此在这个平台之后的每一款新品所需要的研发周期会缩短，研发费用将会大幅度减少，并且整车的软硬件的质量都会更加稳定更一致。我们会对车型管理的组织结构也进行了调整，我们每一个平台都将由一位大矩阵产品经理由端到端的负责，并且统筹这个平台上的车型从产品最开始的设计到研发到销售到最后的服务的完整的生命周期的管理决策，形成面向市场和客户的闭环体验，提升最终的用户的体验和销量。
Leveraging our dedicated EV platforms with focus on architecture and powertrain, we expect to increase our R&D efficiency, enhance our cost control measures, and improve supply chain management. In line with our mission, we have invested in 3 powerful EV platforms over the past few years, including our fully established E platform and our 3rd generation F platform and H platform, both of which are expected to be mass-produced next year. Together, these advanced platforms form a solid technology foundation to support our product upgrades and iterations. Our core technologies, including our powertrain system, advanced driver assistance system, chassis, and electrical and electronic architecture, will be shared across multiple vehicles we're developing as much as possible. As a result, the required R&D cycle time and expenditure for each new product will be reduced, while the vehicle software and hardware quality will be more stable. We have also adjusted the organizational structure for our EV product management team accordingly. Each EV platform will be led by a senior product manager in charge of product development across the complete product cycle from design and development to sales, forming a market-led closed-loop system to improve user experience in sales.
代表我们平台化最先进技术的 SUV 车型 G9 已经在10月底启动规模交付了。G9 全系标配800伏的高压平台，续航扎实，充电速度超过了市场上所有的在售电动车型。这样的口碑正在被越来越多的用户认知跟传播。不光在中国，我们甚至在海外也看到这个趋势。这代表是电动化技术的领先正在成为小鹏汽车在智能化领先之后着力打造的又一个鲜明的品牌的标签。虽然 G9 在短期我们还需要克服疫情跟产能爬坡的挑战，但是我们很有信心 G9 将成为30万以上纯电 SUV 市场的前3名，并且在明年随着我们口碑的积累进一步缩小与第1名之间的差距。
Mass deliveries of the G9, our flagship SUV equipped with our most advanced technologies, commenced at the end of October. All of the G9s are equipped with an 800-volt high-voltage platform that enables excellent driving range. Its charging speed also outperforms all the other EV models in the market. The increasing market recognition of G9's outstanding capabilities has marked XPeng's leadership in not only smart technology but also electrification. Such a reputation is not only popularized in China but also overseas. Despite near-term challenges brought by COVID-related restrictions and production ramp-up, we are confident that the G9 will soon rank among the top 3 in terms of monthly sales volume in a battery electric SUV segment priced above 300,000 RMB and draw closer to number 1 next year as we continue to enhance our brand recognition.
G9 的销量贡献将带动我们的销量走出10月份的低谷。明年1季度起，小鹏陆续会推出3款新品，我相信会带动我们的产品竞争力进一步提升。同时，我们的营销能力也会在这些新品的上市中间持续改善。我相信，随着新产品、新技术的持续推出，加上下一代全场景智能驾驶产品的推出带来的差异化的巨大优势，我们有信心在实现销量和平均售价上的显著提升， 并且在2023年取得高于行业平均的收入增长，获得更大的市场份额。
We believe G9's sales ramp-up will drive future sales volume and pull us out of the trial we experienced in October. Moreover, beginning in the first quarter of next year, we will successfully launch 3 new vehicle models, which will further strengthen our product competitiveness. We also expect consistent improvement in our marketing capabilities to make our subsequent product launches successful. As we continue to roll out new products and technologies, coupled with technology differentiation of our next-generation full-scenario ADAS products, we're confident that we will achieve a significant increase in sales volume and average selling price, gaining a revenue growth in 2023 that exceeds the industry average and increasing our market share.
今年3季度以来，我们在量产的自动驾驶技术上取得了重大突破，并且正在持续提升消费者对于智能辅助驾驶的信任跟购买意愿。在9月17号，我们的城市 NGP 在广州首发，在比高速公路难上100倍的城市交通场景，小鹏 P5 仅仅使用了较低成本的硬件，就率先实现了行业一流的安全性跟体验。
Since the third quarter of this year, we have made significant progress in the mass production of autonomous driving technology. We continue cultivating consumers' trust in and willingness to purchase our products with best-in-class ADAS software. On September the 17th, we debuted our city NGP pilot program in Guangzhou. In urban traffic scenarios, which are significantly more complex than highway scenarios, XPeng's P5 took the lead in delivering the best-in-class driver safety and driving experience at a much lower hardware cost.
我们同时正在加速开发下一代全场景的智能辅助驾驶产品，也就是 XNGP， 并且计划在2023年的3季度推出 XNGP 的主要功能，并且至少能够支持中国的数十个城市。我们认为 XNGP 将成为智能辅助驾驶软件中间真正成为高频且刚需产品的拐点。在当前，我们很欣喜的看到，目前 G9 的订单中间有相当高比例的用户在 XNGP 还没有 OTA 的情况下，已经选择了支持 XNGP 的 Max 版本。我们也期待在明年将成本优势更明显的 XNGP 拓展到更多的车型。不仅如此，我们认为 XNGP 的硬件成本会随着技术的进步和供应链的成熟而持续下降，并且我们期望大幅度低于友商的成本。在产品口碑跟成本的驱动下，我们相信 XNGP 将会面对全国范围内的广大用户群加速普及。
We are accelerating the development of our next-generation full-scenario advanced driver assistance product, XNGP, and plan to release its major functions to several dozen cities in the third quarter of 2023. In my view, the upcoming release of XNGP will represent an inflection point where smart driver assistance software becomes a must-have product with high-frequency usage. We're also pleased to see that a high proportion of current G9 orders are for the Max version that features XNGP ahead of the XNGP's OTA rollout. We look forward to enabling our cost-competitive XNGP next year in more models. Furthermore, we believe XNGP's hardware costs will have the opportunity to be reduced as our technology advances and become significantly lower than that of our peers. Driven by strong brand awareness of our product and cost competitiveness, we're confident that XNGP will rapidly gain widespread adoption nationwide.
在10月31日，小鹏 G9 获得了广州智能网联汽车道路测试资格，这是首次由零改装的量产车获得中国自动驾驶的路试资格。我们的 XNGP 智能辅助驾驶跟 Robotaxi 的研发双线并行，通过数据跟能力的反腐进行闭环。我们期望小鹏率先在量产车实现低成本、高安全，来实现最后的真正无人驾驶。
On October the 31st, the XPeng G9 obtained the Guangzhou Intelligent Connected Vehicle Road Test Permit, making XPeng G9 the first unmodified mass-produced vehicle to qualify for autonomous driving tests on China's public roads. With the parallel development of our advanced driver assistance system, XNGP, and robotaxi capabilities, alongside a closed-loop data and a complementary approach in software iterations, we plan to be the first to realize autonomous driving with cost-effective mass-produced vehicles.
在我们不断推进智能化跟电动化技术的研发成果落地的同时，我们深信我们当前研发的行业领先技术有着巨大的用户价值和对公司的商业价值。我们对于在全球范围内开展战略跟技术合作，当前保持开放的态度。
As we strive to bring our smart technologies and electrification technologies into commercialization, we firmly believe in the value proposition that our in-house developed industry-leading technologies bring to our customers, as well as our commercial value for our enterprise. We're open to opportunities for strategic cooperation and technology collaborations globally.
从现金流的角度看，小鹏当前的在手现金规模超过了400亿元人民币。我们越来越同时地感受到，汽车企业不应该仅仅考虑在顺境，更应该考虑在逆风的情况下如何能够稳健、安全、稳定的成长。我们会在接下来的几个季度，包括几年内，不断地加强成本管控，提升运营效率，同时精简投资项目，通过研发方向的极大程度的聚焦，以及车型之间共享更多的平台和模块，我们计划在未来会用更低的研发投入推出更多的新品。在强大的产品组合和内部体系的调整的帮助下，销售效率也要大幅度提升。此外，得益于我们前期在产能上的布局，我们的资本开支的需求在接下来几年，我们相信将会比今年有较大幅度的下降。因此，我们相信当前我们在手的约400亿人民币现金水平，足以支持我们在今后几年业务发展的需求，并且随着我们产品销量提升，我们的现金流情况还会有大幅度的改善。
Regarding cash liquidity, our current cash amounts to over 40 billion RMB. We have become increasingly aware of the importance for automakers to maintain steady growth in adversity and not just in prosperity. Therefore, we will implement prudent cost control initiatives over the next few quarters and next few years to improve operational efficiency and streamline our investment projects. Building on our more focused R&D strategy and vehicle and technology platforms that can be applied across different vehicle models, we plan to roll out future products at a lower R&D cost. A stronger product portfolio and internal organizational restructuring will also help significantly improve our sales efficiency. Furthermore, thanks to our early investment in our production capabilities, our capex needs will significantly decrease over the next couple of years compared with 2022. Therefore, we're confident that our cash position of 40 billion RMB will support our business growth in the coming years. Also, our cash flow will substantially improve as our product sales grow.
展望第4季度，我们会努力克服疫情所带来的不利影响，同时我们面向更中长期的发展做出内部的各项调整工作。受G9产线爬坡的影响，11月份的交付量预计为不少于5800辆。我们正在全力解决产能的问题，以更快的交付我们积累的在手订单。在12月，小鹏的交付量将会环比明显的反弹。我们预期2022年第4季度的总交付数量约为2万至2万1千辆，收入预计约为人民币48至51亿元。我相信我们将来会在未来的几个季度里面加快内部组织的变革和管理提升的步伐。我们有信心，小鹏在中长期智能汽车的行业位居第一的目标。
Looking ahead to the fourth quarter, we'll focus on mitigating the impacts of COVID-related restrictions in China and making internal adjustments for our medium and long-term development. Our November deliveries are estimated to reach at least 5,800 units, mainly due to the impact of the G9 production ramp-up. We're trying our best to expedite deliveries of our order backlog. In December, our deliveries will rebound significantly month-over-month. We expect to deliver a total of 20,000 to 21,000 vehicles in the fourth quarter of 2022 and generate revenue between 4.8 to 5.1 billion RMB. We will accelerate internal organizational adjustment and management upgrades in the coming quarters. We're confident that we will rank among the top players in the smart vehicle industry in the medium to long term.
谢谢大家。下面由我们的财务 VP Dennis 为大家介绍我们2022年第三季度的财务状况。
Thank you, everyone. With that, I'll now turn the call over to our VP of Finance, Mr. Dennis Lu, to discuss our financial performance for the third quarter of 2022.
Thank you, Mr. He, and hello, everyone. Now, I would like to provide a brief overview of our financial results for the third quarter of 2022. I will reference RMB only in my discussion today, unless otherwise stated. Our total revenues were 6.8 billion for the third quarter of 2022, an increase of 19.3% year-over-year, and a decrease of 8.2% quarter-over-quarter. Revenues from vehicle sales were 6.2 billion for the third quarter of 2022, an increase of 14.3% year-over-year, and a decrease of 10.1% from the last quarter. The year-over-year increase was mainly attributable to higher vehicle deliveries, while the quarter-over-quarter decrease was mainly due to lower vehicle deliveries for the P5 and the G3i. Gross margin was 13.5% for the third quarter of 2022, compared with 14.4% for the same period of 2021 and 10.9% for the last quarter. Vehicle margin reached 11.6% for the third quarter of 2022, compared with 13.6% for the same period of 2021 and 9.1% for the last quarter. The quarter-over-quarter increase was mainly attributable to product mix changes. R&D expenses were 1.5 billion for the third quarter of 2022, an increase of 18.5% year-over-year, and an increase of 18.5% quarter-over-quarter. The year-over-year increase was mainly due to the increase in employee compensation as a result of expanded research and development staff. And the quarter-over-quarter increase was primarily associated with higher new vehicle development to support our future growth. SG&A expenses were 1.6 billion for the third quarter of 2022, an increase of 5.7% year-over-year, and a decrease of 2.3% quarter-over-quarter. The year-over-year increase was mainly due to expansion of our sales network and associated personnel cost. The quarter-over-quarter decrease was mainly attributable to lower operating expenses. As a result of foregoing, loss from operations was 2.2 billion for the third quarter of 2022, compared with 1.8 billion for the same period of 2021 and 2.1 billion for the last quarter. Net loss was 2.4 billion for the third quarter, compared with 1.6 billion for the same period a year ago and 2.7 billion for the last quarter. Comprehensive loss was 0.7 billion for the third quarter, compared with 1.6 billion for the same period a year ago and 0.8 billion for the last quarter. The primary difference between the comprehensive loss and net loss was foreign currency translation gain resulting from the rapid appreciation of US dollar denominated assets. As of September 30, 2022, we had cash and cash equivalent, restricted cash, short-term investment, and time deposits in total of 40.1 billion. To be mindful of the length of our earnings call, I will encourage listeners to refer to our press release for more details on our third quarter financial results. This concludes our prepared remarks. We will now open the call to questions. Operator, please go ahead.
Thank you. If you wish to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced. If you wish to cancel your request, please press star 2. If you are on a speaker phone, please pick up your handset to ask your question. For the benefit of all participants on today's call, if you wish to ask your question to the management in Chinese, please immediately repeat your question in English. For the sake of clarity and order, please ask one question at a time. Management will respond, and then feel free to follow up with your next question. We have a first question from the line of Tim Sao with Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
管理层非常感谢接受我的提问哦。那我有2个问题，那可能跟刚才小鹏总简报中分享都有关系啊。第一个问题是有关于车型的交付，那可能因为过去这个疫情和车型换代种种原因啊，过去几个月这个我们整车的交付预期中来的疲弱。那我们也看到就是小鹏汽车也针对此做了一连串的这个组织调整。那对于投资人的话，我们应该期待这样的一个组织调整多快和多具体的能反映在车型未来几个月销量明显的一个改善上。那另外针对 G9 月销量，我们之前目标破万或者是明年新一代的 P7 整体的这个交付目标，那因应当前整个市场的情势我们这个目标是否有所调整这个因为也和小鹏汽车明年的盈利能力是息息相关的。So my first question is about deliveries, because the vehicle deliveries have been slow in recent months, likely due to the model transition and COVID curbs. XPeng has done a series of organizational restructuring, but how fast could this adjustment translate into more meaningful volume recovery in the upcoming months, assuming the impact from the COVID restriction could ease over time? And separately, have we adjusted our 10,000 target for G9 per month or the new P7 next year due to the current supply-demand challenges, as this is also highly correlated to the company's profitability into 2023? So this is my first question. Thank you.
谢谢 Tim。这个我最近看了很多在历史上跟制造业相关的这个起起伏伏的案例，我相信小鹏的现在的调整面向中长期为主，并不会为了短期动作变形，所以请各位投资者给予耐心，我们期望在几个季度后不断的看到这个业绩的效果的变化越来越明显。在2023年小鹏会扩大市场份额。那么关于在最短期的这个情况下，如果疫情的情况不会进一步的扩大，那么我们希望在12月份我们的交付会过万同时我们预计 G9 在12月份会成为30万以上的纯电 SUV 的前3名。那么在23年随着 G9 口碑的积累和 XNGP 的落地，在这点我们也对比了在过去我们的 P7， 我们相信 G9 的销量会进一步缩小和在30万以上纯电 SUV 第1名的差距，这是我们的目标。那么关于 P7 的新版本，我们相信产品竞争力是有明显的提升的，这会带来 P7 这个车的这个系列的销量的明显反弹。在明年的年中，我们还有一款定价在20到30万区间的 B 级的中型 SUV 这款新车型，我们预计这款车的销量将会明显在这个进一步超过小鹏当前的车型。谢谢。
All right, first of all, thank you for your question. I've just reviewed a lot of historic cases of how manufacturers do changes over time, and currently the organization adjustments that XPeng is conducting is for the mid to long-term goals, not for the short term. So we ask for your patience. At the same time, we are very confident that we can see more significant changes to be translated into our sales performance in the coming several quarters, and in 2023, our market share will be further expanded. Now, in the short term, if the pandemic can be well under control, we are confident that in December we can still maintain our original goal of reaching 10,000 of monthly sales for G9, and we are very confident that we can be ranked among the top 3 players in the battery electric SUVs segment, priced above 300,000 RMB. Now in 2023, with the rollout of our further developed XNGP function, we believe that G9 sales volume can be further enhanced to further exceed actually P7's performance compared to the same developmental stage in the history. At the same time, P7's competitiveness will be further enhanced alongside with our technological improvements, and also their sales performance will be improved in the coming year as well. Now in mid 2023, we expect to launch a new product or a new model that are priced between 200,000 to 300,000 RMB, which will be a B-class mid-size SUV. And that will definitely help us to further boost our product sales, and we believe that the sales volume of this particular model will actually exceed our current product portfolio. Thank you.
I just want to make a clarification. We mentioned that the December delivery overall will reach 10,000, not just G9. The overall delivery for December. Just want to make that clarification.
好，谢谢小鹏总跟 Brian。我第二个问题是有关于现金流。有鉴于市场和总体经济的挑战呢，这个投资人还是特别担心小鹏汽车现金流的一个情况。这次3季报公司资产负债表上面还是有非常充足的一个现金及等价物。但明年如果针对我们自己的观察，比如说像供应商的付款天期、库存周转，以及明年我们有2个全新平台的投入，是否会对于单季度或者是全年的这个经营性现金流的一个造成一些额外的压力。那另外考虑到资本支出呢，我们对于明年整体现金消耗率的一个预估大概是什么样的一个水平？另外我们其实在这个3季报中也看到了短债好像相较于2季度是比较明显的上升了，这是因为现金储备吗？还是有什么特别的原因？ So my second question is about the cash flow. In light of the challenging macro backdrop, investors are increasingly concerned about XPeng's cash flow. The company still has pretty strong cash position in balance sheet based on the latest financial statement, but will there be any potential changes to our supplier payment term or surge in new model investment next year that may deteriorate our operating cash flow? What kind of cash burn should we expect next year? And separately, based on the latest financial statement, XPeng's short-term borrowing also increased more substantially in the quarter. Is there any specific reason to that? That's my second question. Thank you.
Hey Tim, it's Brian. Let me address your question. First of all, the payment terms for our suppliers, we don't see any material change. We actually maintaining a pretty favorable payment terms with our supplier and partners. And if you look at the operating cash outflow, the first 3 quarters it's actually less than 6 billion. And then we actually also foresee the entire capex for this year, 2022, to be less than 4.5 billion RMB, and lower than what we anticipated earlier in the year. And then looking to 2023, we actually see a significant change, reduction in capex due to a number of factors. First of all, as Xiaopeng mentioned earlier, that we actually pretty much completed our capacity build out, so we don't need to incur significant capex for that. We also have completed the construction of these new product platforms for the new car launches. So a lot of these capex has been already incurred already. So next year we think the capex for us will be significantly lower, actually below 3 billion RMB in our estimate for next year. And also in line with the current streamline and focus that we're doing in our R&D projects, we think the R&D expenses next year compared to 2022 will also see not growth, actually in line or reduction. And we also see the SG&A expenses going down due to some of the structural organizational changes we mentioned. So overall, we actually very confident that we can see free cash flow outflow significantly improve next year compared to this year. And also, with our current cash on hand, we have very adequate resources to meet our business plan, and we also anticipate that carries us to our projected cash flow positive sometimes in 2024.
Hey, thank you very much for sharing the details.
Yeah. This is Dennis. I just want to supplement one point regarding your question on the short-term borrowing. Yes, you're right. We have increased our short-term borrowing in the third quarter. The reason is basically for the the money management, because we have established considerable credit lines with a variety of banks, and then we tactically draw down some part of the credit lines to strengthen the relationship with banks. So that's why you see a slight increase in the short-term borrowing at the end of September.
Great. Thank you very much for sharing, Dennis and Brian. 谢谢小鹏总和管理层，谢谢。
Hi, this is Alex. I just would like to clarify when Brian mentioned the decrease of SG&A expenses, he means by as percentage of revenues in 2023 compared with as percentage of revenues in 2022. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Ming-Sun Lee with Bank of America. Please go ahead.
谢谢小鹏总，还有各位管理层。那我这边第一个问题呢是关于四季度的指引呢。那关注到我们的这个销量的这个增速呢，跟销售金额的这个增速中间大概差了8到9个百分点。那是不是就预期就是我们四季度因为包括这个有一些给一些折扣，然后还有这个P7有一些这个版本，它这个现在开始停止接单了，所以说对 ASP 这边会有一些影响。那也想了解一下，就是说这个我们四季度的话，有没有一个毛利率方向的一个指引？那展望明年的话，我们现在针对这个原材料的价格，然后还有电池的这个价格等等的话，我们是大概会去怎么样去维系我们的这个毛利率？谢谢。那我这边用英文翻译一下。My question is the ASP trend in 4Q based on the difference between your volume guidance and also the revenue guidance. So could you give us a more color on this? And besides that, looking into 2023, what's your plan to control the component costs as well as the battery costs in order to maintain your gross margin? Thank you.
This is Dennis. Regarding your question on the ASP, yes, you're right. In the third quarter, our ASP increased primarily compared with quarter two, primarily due to the better mix, better P7. As mentioned, that also improved the margin. For the quarter four, the P7 in terms of P7 mix will be lower. However, because of the mass delivery of the G9, so we'll be able to maintain together the P7 and the G9 mix at about maybe 55 to 60%. So we actually will have slight increase in terms of ASP compared with the quarter three, offsetting some the variable marketing spending on the P5 and G3. So that's the answer to your first question. In terms of material cost increase, so far we haven't seen the big changes in terms of the battery cost for the next year, mainly for the first quarter. But we believe due to more supply, we are seeing opportunities in terms of the battery supply, and that would in return translate into a cost reduction, maybe in the second half. So with that, the cost improvement will help to maintain or to improve our margin, offsetting the NEV subsidy discontinuation.
Yeah. So Ming, just to also add to this, the fourth quarter, due to the volume contraction and also launching of our new product, G9, I think the gross profit will face some pressure versus the third quarter. And then the first quarter, given the subsidy elimination, which impacts some of our lower price models, so that will also present a challenge for the gross profit. However, our view is that with the volume rebounding starting the second quarter and then the rest of the year with scale, and also we anticipate battery prices moderate and also show some opportunities for decline and later in the year. I think the gross profit trend will improve significantly in the later half of next year.
Okay. Thank you, Brian and Dennis. I have no more question.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Nick Lai with JP Morgan. Please go ahead.
好，关宇成，大家晚上好。我是 JP Morgan Nick， 我就两个比较简单的问题。第一个就是还是想问这个小彭总，刚提到这个管理层架构的改变，我看今天的电话会刚那个何总在前大概花了在15分钟一直在讲这个组织架构的调整。那我可以再追问一下，就是举例来说，在品牌跟营销团队这些策略跟改变，可不可以举一些例子？就是我们在过去跟未来，这个在品牌跟营销策略会有什么比较具体的改变？那这些改变，我们是在比如说是明年下半年会渐渐看到这些对产品销售的影响，这是第一个问题。那let me translate my question firstly. Chairman Mr. He just mentioned that we are going to change a lot of strategy regarding management, including branding and marketing team. And can we elaborate more? What are going to change in terms of branding strategy and marketing campaign? And when can we expect those change having an impact on underlying demand or volume?
谢谢尼克。品牌营销的组织上的调整跟策略调整，我们当前还在进行中间啊。整体来说的话，这个在过去的时间里面，小鹏的品牌营销团队实际上对于销的这个思考会更多，打法会更有效率。但在将来的时间点里面，我们会对于营销跟服务会同时会开创更多的这个创新的打法。整体来说，我们会在销的方面会下降费用，那么在营跟服务上面会提高投入，这是我们第一个的策略。第二个，我们会在后面会去进行组织上的一些整合，并且会引入更多在产品营销上的社会上的优秀人才，会重新去制定有攻有防的策略，来更好的去满足整个的产品矩阵，更好的满足客户需求。因为在我们的这个营销的这个动作里面后面还会持续做，所以我们现在讲的是一个在未来数个月内的一个宏观的策略。谢谢。
All right, thank you, Nick, for your question. We are actually conducting or in the midst of doing this organizational adjustment with focus on our branding and marketing. Looking back, I mean, in the past, our branding and sales and marketing mainly focus on sales with, more focus on boosting the sales of our products. But going into the future, we are going to balance different aspects of our branding, marketing, and sales with innovative measures. And we plan to actually reduce our spending to boost, in the sales, while increasing our spending in the marketing. Now, the second thing that is regarding the organizational adjustment is that we expect to integrate our organization to make it more efficient and effective, and we plan to recruit very high quality talent from different industries in order to boost our sales and marketing efficiency. And we aim to launch a series of measures in order to tackle different challenges, as well as boost our effectiveness in order to align our product portfolio, as well as to achieve higher customer satisfaction rate while adjusting the customer demand. Now, we are talking about our near-term strategy for these organizational changes in the coming 15 months, but we believe that in the long run, we will continue this such adjustment in order to achieve our mid to long-term goal. Thank you.
对，我再补充几点。
好的。
第一点就是 有更清晰的定位第二点，根据这个清晰的定位，我们会有更长线的做法，而不是就考虑更短线。第三个，我们会有更进攻性的动作，而不是在之前的是这个相对来说是防御性的。第四个，核心以客户为导向。OK， 补充这4点。
And just allow me to add several key points. The first one is that we will have a clearer positioning of our brands and products. And the second thing is that we are aiming for the long game. We are not doing this for the short term. And the third point is that we are going to be more aggressive and more proactive in our sales and marketing campaigns rather than being rather passive just like in the past. And the fourth and the last point is that we will remain very customer oriented and focused. Thank you.
好的。我第二个简单的问题是有关这个城市 NGP、XNGP， 刚刚小彭总也提了，花蛮多时间在讲这个东西。我只是一个技术上的问题想请教，就是我们的这个CTNGP， 从消费者的使用的角度来看，跟其他的 solution， 比如说 Mobileye、华为等等，我们在使用上有什么比较重要的差别？那同时间在我们这个 NGP 这个 service， 刚何总也有提到说，我们在探讨一些战略合作的一些机会，就光这一点，可以跟我们在 elaborate， 可以再 explain 一下是什么样的战略合作的机会或想法思路，然后假如说是把这个 solution turnkey solution 就是卖给或是跟其他人合作，跟主机厂合作的话，其他主机厂是有什么原因是需要跟我们合作？My second question is really about autonomous driving XNGP solution, and can we elaborate a bit more how are we different from the other solutions such as Mobileye and Huawei and so on? And also mention that we are looking for potential opportunity to work with other potential partners on XNGP product. And can we extend a bit more on that as well? Thank you.
谢谢尼卡。第一个问题我来回复。我们从现在自己来使用这个自动辅助驾驶的整个的体感来看，我们认为有4个方面对于客户感知是很强烈的。第一个是使用的场景范围。那么在过去的时间里面，高速跟停车大概只占了10%以内的使用场景，那么大部分90%以上的场景都在城市内。那第二个就是成本，客户愿意为此付出多少的成本。那么今天的自动辅助驾驶的成本，实际上我认为在将来有下降到现在的30%到20%的这样一个机会。第三个就是如何安全性的提高，第四个是如何帮助客户产生真正意义的价值。那么您刚才所说的问题实际上涵盖了这4个方面。从我们现在来看 XNGP 跟原来的这个高速上的差距的，第一个就是说它扩展了90%额外的这个使用范围，且在原来如果当客户仅仅使用城市高清地图或者激光雷达地图来进行自动辅助驾驶的时候，它会陷入一个困难的问题，就在于它在于不同的路段，它会碰到不同的技术的这个表现，也就是说在有高清地图的，在没有高清地图的情况下，它会有大量的这种体验的切换，它会带来了安全上的问题跟使用交互上的问题。所以从我们角度来看的话，仅仅支持高速的高清地图和城市的高清地图，它最后的体验是破碎的，它是非常困难完成这个体验的。所以要想解决在中间没有地图情况下的一个情况，必须要用到这个在小鹏的 XNGP 里面无地图的时候，它能够保证所有的体验基本上是保证持续在一个水平线上的。只有在这个情况下，它才能保证什么全场景全范围，以及每一个场景的切换的时候的体验跟安全感是一致的，它才能够对客户带来真正的价值。最开始这个价值是不会让客户感觉到轻松、自然、安全跟高效率的，但是一旦你做到全部的场景是一个技术体系，那么他才会感觉到更像一个熟练的司机在开车，更有更舒适的体验。所以我们认为真正只有达到全场景的无缝，才能够最后把自动辅助驾驶推到全社会。谢谢。
First of all, allow me to address the first part of your question. From our own user experience, there are 4 key components to the adoption of ADAS technology nowadays. The first one is scenario coverage or scenario support. Now, from our data, we noticed that highway and parking only took up about 10% of people's daily use in terms of the scenario, and 90% of people's use of ADAS technology is actually on city roads. And the second component to the adoption of ADAS is the cost. How much people are willing to pay for the advanced technology. And we actually are confident that in the future, the cost of affording our XNGP or related ADAS software will be able to be reduced to 20% to 30% of their current costs. And the third component is safety, and the fourth component is the true value that you are able to contribute to your customers. Now, for XNGP, when we are able to roll out our city-based scenario or function, we are actually expanding the scenario coverage by over 9 times, because 90% of the usage happens on city roads compared to only 10% happen on highways and parking scenarios. Now, in the past, without our XNGP, people mainly rely on, for example, high definition maps or laser-based technology, etc. Those pose a lot of challenges, especially in areas where you don't have high definition mapping available, and that causes a sharp difference, that actually produce a sharp difference in terms of user experience and in terms of the safety as well. And we don't think that that is our final target. That's why we launched XNGP that allow very consistent performance, even in areas where we don't have high definition mapping or high definition maps available. And that actually is the reason why we are so excited that with the rollout of our city road based or city scenario based XNGP, we will be able to support a true full scenario functionality in a true sense, and we will be able to provide a very consistent experience when people are switching the use of such functionality from areas with high definition maps and without high definition maps. And that will allow our customers to have a very easy and safe and efficient driving experience, just like when you are a passenger in a car driven by an experienced driver. And that kind of seamless integration is our goal here, and that is why we are very confident with the rollout of our XNGP to achieve higher customer satisfaction. Thank you.
Yeah, and Nick, to answer your second question regarding the openness in terms of collaboration and cooperation, I think it's all generated from that, the recognition that we have spent a lot of effort and resources to develop market-leading technologies. And we think actually, in addition to increase our sales, I think there is tremendous value embedded in these technologies that can be monetized in other ways, potentially. We also saw tremendous interest in such technologies. And we have leading technology in smart driving, autonomy, in smart cockpit, in electrification, and high voltage platform, etc. So I think these are technologies I think could become valuable if we actually have ability to make it more scalable, and also leveraging potential partners' resources to quickly penetrate scenarios or markets that we currently doesn't focus on. So with that, I think openness, I think we are evaluating a number of potential opportunities to hopefully help us to make these technology reach more scale at the same time without compromising our focus of producing sort of attractive and competitive products ourselves. So this is an attitude. Obviously, if there's more specific progresses, so I'm happy to update when it's available.
好的，谢谢。
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Bin Wang with Credit Suisse. Please go ahead.
谢谢各位领导。我第一个问题呢，就是关于订单的，想问一下呢，就是在11月份 G9 当月拿到多少新增订单，以及 G9 目前的在手订单会有多少？因为之前好像公司指引今年会超过1半台订单都已经在手了，所以想了解一下这个情况。 My first question is about the order backlog. Basically, it's two parts. Number one is what's the new order flow for G9 in November? Second, what's the accumulated order backlog for G9? Because company seems to guide this year delivery should be more than 10K order backlog already secure. Thank you.
Hey, Bing, it's Brian. First of all, as you have tried a number of times, that we don't disclose backlog on any model or particular company backlogs. But there are a few things that I want to point out to you. One is that as you can see that our delivery timetable has now been extended to later in first quarter. That shows the strong our orders at hand. And we will be also delivering significant number in December of G9. So that's one indication. Secondly is that we also are confident that with our sales momentum, we see G9 become one of the top 3, if not the top 2, battery electric SUV models over 300,000 RMB price. And that's also indication of the level of demand that we see.
我第二个问题呢是关于公司网站这个订单等待时间的一个准确度因为如果我们去网站上去订一个需求的话呢，目前都号称我们想要等到明年的1月份或者2月份都有不同的版本。请问这个数字呢是否是更新的，还是说它永远是这个情况？因为什么我这么问呢？因为很多投资者在了解特斯拉的情况，在网站上呢，他们经常会出现等待1到4周或8到10周，这个是会更新的。所以我想知道公司在网站上居久这个等待时间，就预计交付时间是否是一个真实随时更新的？好，我翻译一下。Actually, I just want to check because on your official website, when we try to book a G9 online, actually they show the expected deliver time. I want to know whether this knife change according to your order backlog, because similarly Tesla actually, if you go to their China website, they actually can show the Model 3, Model Y waiting time. Sometimes it was 1 to 4 weeks, sometimes it's 12 weeks. That should indicate the demand waiting time for is changing according to the order backlog. So I just want to know whether G9 waiting time in your website is changing according to your order backlog on real time basis. Thank you.
Yes, Bing, I think you're right. The wait time is correlated to the real-time demand and also our production ramp-up capabilities. So what you see in the retail store reflects the various models' real-time delivery timetable.
Okay, thank you. 谢谢。
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Pingle Wu with CITIC Securities. Please go ahead.
感谢管理层。那我其实想针对之前何总提到的一个关于需求导向这个问题，可能展开一下。就是说，因为其实就是发现需求这件事情，可能是背后有很多思考。那可能想问一下，可能何总，我们觉得因为可能应该在近期我们也做了很多的这种内部的讨论，就是那我们怎么去思考什么是一些真的需求，然后可能我们如何去这个去就是什么是一个是什么是真的需求，第二个是怎么找到这样子一些真的需求，可能我们在公司的一些组织结构上会有一些什么样的相应的变化。Then I will translate my question, and my question is about how to be demand oriented, and specifically the first one is what is the real customer's demand, and secondly, how do we find them, and what will we do in terms of our structure. Yes, that's my question. 谢谢何总。
谢谢。我相信在汽车的制造行业里面呢，首先我们有2个逻辑，第一个就是我们的逻辑就是说它是一个不同理论。在过去的时间里面，我们所有的造车的新的企业都需要完成不同理论的短板的这个完善，包括了安全、质量、服务、基础的成本，这都是我们要做的短板。那么同时我们现在所看到的，我们还会在不断的完善的，包括了这个设计、内造型、空间等系列的。但是每一家公司都要找到自己的一块长板，那这个长板是满足当前客户需求还是满足未来客户需求，这是其中的一个思考逻辑。我相信第二个的思考逻辑，想说的是， 到底是满足的是你是定位在哪一群客户里面，并且定位在哪一个区域里面。那么这个在小鹏最近的战略规划里面实际上是做了大量的思考，我们更期望是能够获得更长期的在全球的规模的客户。那么所以小鹏在这样的2个的理论里面，我们去找到我们在未来的规划跟指引去做未来的3年的布局，这是我们现在的所的方法。那么抱歉，今天我在这里不会去详细的讲小鹏的未来3年里面的车型里面的这个明确的需求，但是我们还是想说的有一点，就是说我们相信智能驾驶会在小鹏将来所有的车型都成为标配，而且是所有的车型的能力是一致的，这是我们现在在战略上的规划一个非常重要的点。我们会围绕着这个规划去构造全新的科技的这样的一个能力，并且在这样一个科技能力里面把费用要大幅度控制下来，这是我们在整个的小鹏在下一代的这个需求定位里面的一个重点之一。谢谢。
All right, thank you for your question. Now, there are 2 basic logics behind the industry of automaking, especially for our OEMs. The first one is to adopt the theory of buckets, which means that you have to identify your weakest links and also identify your strengths as well. Now, in the past several years, I think not just ourselves, but a lot of our peers have been doing their best to actually identify and also improve their weak links in terms of, for example, safety, product quality, service quality, and also cost control as well. We are also doing our best. We're striving to further perfect our service quality as well as the design of our products, interior design, as well as smart cockpit and other space design as well. So in the long term, one of the key competitive strengths is to really identify your goal. I'm talking about short term as well as the long term goal as well. You have to make sure that you understand the current focus, whether you aim for the short term or the long run. And the second logic behind our automaking industry is to define your customer portfolio or your targeted customer group as well as your regional target as well. Now, for the past 2 to 3 years, XPeng has identified ourselves as a global company in the long run, and we really want to build scale as well. That is why in the coming 3 years, based on which we have made our 3-year plan in the future. And I apologize that today I won't be able to disclose further information regarding our future lineup or the market demand in regards to specific car models. However, what I would like to mention is that in the future, autonomous driving or ADAS technology will be standard configuration in our future product lineup with very consistent performance and very high quality capabilities across our product. And also that's our long-term goal to based on which we will further enhance our technological capability and also do better in cost control so that we can deliver truly cost competitive high quality products to our customers, and that will be something that we embody in our next generations of products. Thank you.
那么关于您刚刚所问到的在组织结构上，我们在组织结构上做了2个方向的变化来去适应。第一个就是说，我们从规划到产品到技术上面，我们如何去真正的把我们所想的这个需求能够做好，并且控制无价值的需求，不要去实现。我觉得这是第一个，就是聚焦做好一个新的3电引擎动力这个整车的平台跟智能的平台。第二个，我们通过车型的大矩阵的产品，能够端到端的把这样的一个3块的引擎，能够在不同的车型里面能够最好的能够从端到端去满足客户的需求，这是我们在跟以前的整个组织体系里面是一个很大的调整。谢谢。
Regarding the second part of your question, now our current organizational changes is mainly conducted to fulfill 2 goals or mainly focus on 2 areas. The first one is to do changes in terms of our product planning, product development, and also to have a higher efficiency and effectiveness in implementing our technology and our future products, and also to control, first of all, to be able to identify true demand and to control our investment in the months that have less values. And that is why we have been invested so heavily in perfecting our, for example, electrical and electronic architecture, our whole vehicle architecture, as well as our powertrain and other systems. With those systems and those integration, we will be able to truly offer an end-to-end solutions that are able to deliver high-quality products to our customers. Thank you.
感谢管理层。我这边还有一个第二个问题是关于我们明年的这个 P7 的这个改款。因为肯定 P7 在改款上会增加一些这个新的配置，然后增强它的这个竞争力。那可能在这个成本端，我想确认一下是否也会因此可能这个上升。那我们的价格是否要相应的调整，然后获得一个相对稳定的毛利，还是我们可能明年的或者是这个对于 P7 的这个定位可能是要维持毛利，还是说可能希望去这个把这个销量再去这个稳住，然后更看重量的一种情况。My second question is about P7. In 2023, we will launch a new P7 with better configurations, and I think it would cause a rise in the BOM cost. And will we maintain a relatively stable GP margin and rise our MSRP, or we want to boost our sales and maybe maintain our price or even lower our price? Thank you.
Yes, Bing, it's Brian again. On P7 next year, yes, we aim to launch the upgraded model to reflect the technology advancements, particularly the ones that you saw already on G9. So the P7 will have the equally advanced autonomous driving architecture. We'll also have the faster charging capabilities and higher voltage capabilities, as well as a number of other upgrades and fixes that will address some of the shortcomings we received the feedback on. Benefiting from the platform development, actually, since a lot of these advancements are sharing the modular and platform development, we actually are able to control the cost of the new P7, so to maintain the similar margins of the current version, and also some models of the current version P7 will continue to be selling along with the updated P7. So it's actually I would say the high-end or upgraded version of the P7. So with that, I think we believe we can introduce a much more competitive P7 reflecting the top-of-the-line capabilities that we have in technology while maintaining the segment price and profitability on this series, the P7 series.
好，谢谢 Brian， 非常清楚，感谢。
Thank you. As there are no further questions, now I'd like to turn the call back over to the company for closing remarks.
Thank you once again for joining us today. If you have further questions, please feel free to contact XPeng's Investor Relations through the contact information provided on our website or the TPG Investor Relations. Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes today's conference call. You may disconnect your lines now. Thank you for your participation.